Welcome, scholars. My name is Miss Melissa Ringfield, and I'll be your writing instructor this semester. Check out my introduction post on the Building Communities discussion for a little bit more about me. But for now, let's jump into learning about this course and how it works. This is English Composition 2, and I'm Miss Melissa Ringfield. We will use web courses hosted by Canvas as our primary form of communication this semester. Please use web courses inbox to contact me instead of my ucf.edu address. I check web courses more often, and it helps keep me organized to have all student materials in one place. The homepage for our web courses class shows the daily schedule, including readings, assignment, and recommended tasks. You can also find important modules or important resources on the modules page. My office hours this semester will be Tuesdays 12 to 1:15 and 3 to 3:45 for in-person office hours. That's at Trevor Colburn Hall 169F. To get there, you'll enter through the Department of Writing and Rhetoric near the center of the first floor of the building. Then walk down the hallway until you see 169, turn towards the window, and I'm in office 169F. You don't need an appointment during these in-person visits, just drop in anytime. I will also host office hours over Zoom during the above hours, and on Wednesdays and Fridays, 1 to 2:30. For these visits, I ask that you give me at least 15 minutes notice by either sending me a quick inbox through web courses or signing up on the conference sheet, which you can find on the course resources module. Office hours are important not only for helping you produce the strongest writing possible, but they also offer an easy way to earn some extra credit throughout the semester. There are no textbooks for this class. Most of the reading will be self-directed as you select sources for your research project. The few assigned readings there are will be available through free online through web courses links. The assignments are broken into two categories, major assignments and low-stakes assignments. The major assignments are worth a total of 60% of your final grade, and low-stakes assignments are worth 40% of your final grade. The course works on a 100-point system where 100 points equals 100% of the grade. The point value of each assignment shows what percentage of the final grade the assignment is worth. So most assignments are worth 1 point or 1% of the final grade. I offer extra credit throughout the semester to help make up any lost points. These include conference hours visits, writing center consultation, and extra peer review responses. The majority of the work you do this semester will all relate to a semester-long research project broken down into 3 major assignments, culminating in a 8 to 12 page MRAD-style research article that introduces previous research conversations, presents a methodology for sampling and coding a population of primary texts, reports the results of the study, and analyzes and discusses those findings to contribute to a scholarly conversation in the field of writing and rhetoric studies. If you took ENC 1101 here at UCF, you probably had a solid foundation introduction to writing and rhetoric studies, including concepts such as rhetoric, discourse, genres, literacy. The research project this semester will build on that knowledge. If you took ENC 1101 somewhere else or skipped it due to AP or CLEP credit, your early research should help you catch up on these concepts, and you can always use office hours for more help. The research project will be broken into 3 major assignments. Major assignment 1, the literature review, introduces your topic and synthesizes the previous research and identifies a gap in the conversation that your research study will hopefully fill. You will later revise this essay to become the introduction section of your final research article. Major assignment 2 is a research proposal, which will describe how you plan to sample the population of primary texts and how you plan to code and analyze that sample to gather data to answer your research question. You will later revise this mostly by changing from future tense to past tense to become the method section of your research article. Then your major assignment 3 is that MRAD style research article where you will combine the literature review as the introduction and the proposal as the methods, then add a results section that reports the findings of your primary research and a discussion section that analyzes those results to answer your research question. I'll talk more about this in the introduction to the research project slideshow. Your final exam this semester will be major assignment 4, portfolio and reflection. To complete this assignment, you will need to keep everything you create this semester, including drafts and revisions. Make sure to make a copy of each draft before you make any changes. Title assignments files carefully and have a safe space where you keep all of your work. I especially recommend having a cloud file, either on Google Drive or OneDrive. This will protect you in case something happens to your computer throughout the semester. For the portfolio, you'll need to create a website where you present evidence from your semester work that supports the argument in your reflection essay. And for the reflection essay, you will argue for how the evidence in your portfolio demonstrates your mastery or progress on the 6 course outcomes. You will complete some portfolio planning throughout the semester designed to prepare you for this assignment. The 6 course outcomes are what you'll need to demonstrate mastery of by the end of the semester. I will discuss these more when we get to the first portfolio planning assignment, but as you complete work this semester, try to keep track of how each assignment will support your learning in each of these outcomes. Now that we know a little bit what the course is about, let me briefly point out some important course policies found in the syllabus. For most students, one of the most important parts of this class will be revising and resubmitting work. When I grade your low-stakes assignment, my goal is to help prepare you get the best grade possible on your major assignments. So grades will reflect how much revision you need. Once you get feedback on an assignment, you should use that feedback to revise and resubmit before the assignment's close date. I will regrade these resubmissions for up to full credit. This will improve your grade directly with the higher points, but it'll also likely improve your grade for the major assignments, providing a double bonus. Some assignments are time sensitive and can't be resubmitted, including drafts and peer reviews, discussion post, feedback, and major assignment 4 because that's your final exam. To resubmit major assignments, you must include a revision memo. You can find these directions under the course resources module. To submit low-stakes assignment, no additional steps, just resubmit before the close dates. You can find the close dates for each assignment in the assignment details on web courses. This course is very purposefully paced with using best practices from the science of learning. It's not a work at your own pace course, and deadlines should be taken seriously. I do, however, recognize that life happens, so I've built in grace periods on all assignments. Low-stakes assignments have a 24-hour grace period. After 24 hours, the assignment will be accepted until the close date for half credit. Major assignments 1, 2, and 3 have a 48-hour grace period. After 48 hours, the assignment will be accepted until close date with a 10% per day penalty. Major assignment 4 is your final exam. It really shouldn't be submitted late, but I will give it a 24-hour grace period. After 24 hours, you get a 50% penalty until 48 hours, but I'm not accepting any final exams after 48 hours. I truly believe that learning to read and write well is one of the most empowering acts a person can engage in, and I hope you use this semester to become a more empowered person. Apps like ChatGPT do offer some exciting opportunities, but only if they're used responsibly. Do not give over your power to think to machines. You should do all the work in writing for this class on your own. However, I do think there are responsible ways to use these technologies. For example, you might use these apps to help you in the planning stages of your project. I could, for example, see you crafting a prompt that could help you generate possible research questions for your research project. I ask that if you do use ChatGPT or similar apps, that you indicate so with something like a footnote. Let me know how you used it, ideally including the prompts that you used. The key word in academic dishonesty is dishonesty. So as long as you are honest with me, you will not get in trouble. If I think you rely too heavily on AI, I will let you know and give some suggestions for steps to take so that you get the most learning out of the assignment. Okay. That should be most of what you need to know about the course. Your next step should be to watch the Introducing Semester Research Project video. Also, in the next day or two, skim the semester syllabus and schedule. Add a profile picture to web courses. Anything that you want to represent you in the academic context will be fine. Update web courses account to enable notifications for assignment comments. These are where I give feedback or let you know if there's any problems with your submission, so you want to see these right away. Read the Building Communities assignment and begin gathering images for your collage. Optionally, you can purchase EasyWriter 8 and edition and portfolio keeping 3rd edition. And finally, inbox me through web courses if you have any questions or concerns, and I'll make sure to get back to you ASAP. Good luck.